Christmas Day. Haters would say, why don't you park it in the garage? It's because I daily drive it. Oh man, it's frozen. It's about to be a true cold start. Yo, my car's frozen. Guess we could do a cold start on this one too. Expedition with the Whipple EcoBoost upgrade. Thought this cold start would be the best because it's a diesel and it's 18 degrees, but it started right up. Lame. Had some fun in the snow on Christmas Day. Now it's time to get back to work on this Godzilla swamp. The other day I made some coolant hoses for the radiator. I basically made these kind of out of the hoses that I had and zip tied them just in the shape that I need. And I stopped by O'Reilly's and they happened to pretty much match them up to a T. And I mean, it's very close. I just have to trim that one up a little bit, and I think this one is gonna be good, and this one's almost perfect. Look at that. So thanks to O'Reilly's, I got some radiator hoses. Also picked up some fuel line that'll connect to the original fuel tubing on the passenger side. And then I have this Amazon special here, this fitting. I don't remember what it's called, but I ordered a 90 and they sent me a straight, but I think a straight is probably going to be better in this case. And it just clicks in like a OEM style, and that's it. So today's plan is to modify that wiper cowl housing, plastic housing. I have to trim it up a little bit, that way that the body can go lower, and onto the OEM cab mounts. And also I'm going to take this trim off and trim up the radiator support up top where the condenser is hitting it. So once I do that, I should be able to set the body back on the frame. I'm not going to bolt it down most likely. Maybe I'll do like a couple bolts so it just stays in place, but I don't think I'm going to bolt it down because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take the cab off a couple more times. As far as getting to the wiring and stuff like that, it's just much easier when the cab is off to get to the wiring, especially in the transmission back there. But let's get to work. So I thought the radiator support would be bolted in, but it looks like it's welded on this car, because I was hoping to just unbolt this top section and then go take it to the weld room and trim it up, but it looks like it's welded. And I don't want to cut the whole thing off here because I still want the latch, hood latch, but I'm not gonna have a hood most likely, so who knows. But I mean, the less I modify the better. So I think if I just cut like 1.5 inches out like that, I think it'll be good. Eventually maybe I'll just weld something on to make it stronger, but I don't think it's necessary really, because the only thing that this really holds up here is the hood latch and the siren, of course. I'm gonna have to hook this thing up, and I've got a couple lights back there still in the grill. This was a local DUI checkpoint car, so it has like the lights in the grill and stuff like that still. And this wiring is just a nightmare. I don't know who does that. I have to clean it up. I'm gonna have to figure out what wire goes to the siren, which is pretty clear here. That one goes there. I'll just have to wire it back up and put the switches back inside so I can turn those on. Off-road use only, of course. But yeah, let's get to it. That works. It just broke off. I think it cracked in the last video when I was lowering the body. So I think it cracked, but it broke off perfect almost. I'm gonna trim it up more just so it gives me more room. But I'm gonna leave this bracket here. I don't think it's in my way. And also it does like extra support. This is an interesting little drainage system that they have. So if water gets in here, which it will when it's raining, it goes in here. And this was all covered up before. and then it just flows down into this drain, which was clogged. There's a bunch of stuff in there, and then it goes down into this little funnel here, and then goes down, and bam, it drips right here. So that's an interesting little drain system. I don't know if it was necessary. I mean, I guess it keeps the water out of the engine bay, but I don't know if that was really necessary or not. I don't know. Removing any brackets that I don't need. This was holding an evap purge valve, I think. I'm gonna get rid of it. So now that I have the wiper plastic piece trimmed up, I was able to roll the frame back more and lower it. So now this guy is in the way of the radiator support, but not as much because I rolled it back. So instead of trimming the support, I'm thinking just to trim the radiator a little bit. So this goes up against the radiator. There's plenty of room, and I think it'll be good. Because this space here is, you know, pretty big. I don't need much. Originally I needed like 1.5 inches, but I think if I do even like 1/2 inch, I'll be good. So I'm gonna try to trim it and see what it looks like. Also, it's better if I move this condenser forward, because when I move the whole assembly forward 1.5 inches, basically my AC lines became a little bit short for the heater core assembly up there on the body. So once I move it 1/2 inch, it's gonna be tight, and I might have to, you know, stretch it a little bit, but it'll be fine. So I was able to trim up those plastic little brackets on the radiator on both sides, and the condenser went right up against the radiator. Well, there's still like 1/8 of an inch space, so it should be good. And over here I got a self tapper, like a very long one, and it's secured, it doesn't move anywhere. And on this side I got a custom bracket called a zip tie holding it, so it's not gonna go anywhere until this zip tie fails, and then it's just gonna go forward like a quarter. No big deal. So I'm gonna lower the body and see if it clears now. I'm going to go ahead and connect this fuel line here. There we go, that should be good. And for now it's just gonna run across and hit the fitting over there on the other side. I'm not going to cut it right now because I might even put a shield over it or something. But basically, wiring's a mess still over here, but it's just gonna connect right here to this fitting. So as of right now, the body is completely sitting on the original cab mounts, and basically it's in its place. I haven't started any bolts, but the bolts line up and everything. You can see in there the studs are all in place, so it's looking good. This condenser idea worked pretty good. It is very close. It's not touching, but it's close. It's better on this side. But also, if anything, I can still open up those holes on the radiator brackets and push it back slightly, because I still have a little bit of room here that I can work with. I've got the new tensioner on there. I still don't have the alternator bracket bolts and the extra pulley. I'm waiting for that. It should be in sometime next week. But right now I want to try out that new hose radiator hose that goes here and then the one on the bottom and see if that's gonna work. I don't see why it wouldn't, because it almost looks exactly the same. Also still missing these hoses here for the heater core, which is an easy solution. I could just go and buy the proper hose and connect that. The wiring is still a mess. I still haven't got through the wiring part yet. I am going to change the firing order on this original connector from the 4.6 on injectors and coils, and connect a couple sensors here and there. And in the next video, hopefully I will try to crank it over and see if it will run, or at least turn over for now, and go from there. If it turns over and, you know, tries to fire up, that's going to be a good sign. So we'll see how things go, but let me try these hoses out and see if they work. Looks like this one might not work. It's like way too long. Way too long right there. Try it the other way. I mean, it's not horrible. It is pinched a little bit. I mean, it's not that it's pinched. It just I don't know. I think it'll be all right. It's very close to this power steering reservoir though, but I think it should be okay. There's plenty of flow here. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Alright, so the top one's gonna work. So this piece should just fit right back where it was. The reservoir should just fit right back in its place as well. Let me just put this on and see what it looks like. Alright, it's right there. Oh yeah, plenty of room. So that's gonna work good. So it's all coming together slowly, but it's getting there. It's so both of the coolant hoses are good. The one down there from the engine to the bottom of the radiator is also good. Plenty of clearance. It's not rubbing against anything. Changing the belts is gonna be a little bit of an issue, I guess. Not really, but you know, you gotta take the fan out every time you want to take the belts off, because it's hard to get to the tensioner right there. But everything else is looking good. This cover here for the radiators went back in its place, and everything looks like it's original so far. Let's see if the AC, yeah, AC line will be, it's got plenty of slack. It's just routed wrong right now, but it's got plenty of slack there. This one's kind of short. Actually, no, it's good. It's good. So that's it. Let me try to close the hood and see what it looks like. This wire's in the way here at the moment. Okay. So it's that much, but it looks like it's hitting the throttle body, which sticks out like crazy. So if it wasn't for the throttle body, it would be probably a close fit, but still would have to cut a hole in the hood. But it's no big deal. I'll cut a hole in it and then maybe eventually either customize this hood or get a nice hood from someone that makes it. Kind of just want to slam it and see where it's at. So that's gonna be it for this video. Once again, didn't get many things done, but the small things take the longest. The wiring, I gotta get to that. I'm just kind of stretching it, I don't know why, but I need to get that done and just start putting everything back in its place, you know, like hook up the starter underneath and hook up all the lines. I haven't bolted the body onto the frame yet. I'm gonna leave that for last because I don't know, I might need to still lift the body to get to some of the stuff like wiring and stuff like that. But that's gonna be it. In the next video, I'm gonna try to actually turn it over with the key and see if it's gonna fire up. So stay tuned. Later.